Mayor, would you say Ohio is the most important battleground state?
I would say Ohio is certainly one of the most important. I would hesitate at this early stage to really select the battleground states. You know, and as I said, 2000 it became Florida, 2004 it became Ohio. There were other battleground states as well, but it could very well be that the election gets decided in Ohio, the way it did in 2004. And the last thing that you want is any kind of taint on that election process. You can be sure this is going to be an important state. Whether it's the deciding state or not, we'll have to see. It could be. So it would seem to me, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, you'd be interested in having a really fair result here. And I'm very disappointed from the point of view of just the whole integrity of the election, that somebody would even question whether you should have poll watchers or observers when somebody is casting a vote that's going to count in the general election. And I can't imagine why you'd want to do that. I can't imagine why you'd want to be on the side of trying to keep the process as hidden as possible, as opposed to as open as possible.
Mayor, do you think with Senator McCain apparently pulling out of Michigan, there's any way he could be elected without carrying Ohio?
Well, no one ever knows how somebody gets elected. I think it's real important that John McCain carry Ohio. I believe he will carry Ohio. I've always thought he's a very strong candidate here in Ohio. His independence, the fact that he's always been someone who has put the country first, his record of dedication to the country. I mean, John McCain is an exceptional American. And, you know, I felt that way when I was running against him. I said when I was running against him that I weren't running, I'd be supporting him for President of the United States. So, to me, this is not just a usual candidate for president. It's a man who has distinguished himself as a hero, and a hero in putting the country first in ways that, you know, most of us have to question whether we'd be able to do that.
Last week, Senator McCain was sort of ruminating about Warren Buffett or Meg Whitman working at Treasury if he were to become president. Would you be open to the idea of serving in a McCain cabinet?
I'm not thinking about a McCain cabinet. I'm thinking right now about the election. Once John McCain wins, he's going to decide who's in his cabinet, and everybody will be guided by that, but I'm not seeking a cabinet position. I'm working for my good friend John McCain because I personally believe in him so much, and secondly because I believe it's so important to my country. I think there are critical differences, more than usual, between the Republican candidate and the Democratic candidate. And I believe the Democratic candidate is the least qualified person to run for president in at least 100 years.
Mayor, what do you say to the conservative columnists and voices that have come out against Sarah Palin and saying she's not qualified, saying she should consider removing herself from the ticket, that she's a drag on the ticket?
I think they look like a bunch of jerks after the debate the other night. I think they should all. I think they should all say. I think they should all say, you know, we made a mistake. I mean, the fact is, she did a terrific job the other night. I was with her shortly before that debate. You can't imagine the pressure that a candidate is under in a situation like that. Having experienced it on a lesser level in the primary about 11 times, I can tell you it's a very pressured experience. I can't remember a candidate, president or vice president, where a single debate meant as much as that one did. And I can't remember a candidate who's done a better job than her.
Still, some of the polls the following day say that she didn't pass the leadership test, that in people's minds, Joe Biden is more equipped
Republicans
to
never
be
win
president.
polls. They win elections. I'm trying to think of a poll that Republicans have ever won, and they win elections. Even when Ronald Reagan won debates, he would rarely win it in the polls, he'd win it in the election. So, look, I observed the debate. I've participated in lots of debates at all different levels, and I can tell you unequivocally, everybody who is being fair about this and is not looking at it from a partisan point of view would say that Sarah Palin did about as good a job in that debate as anyone has ever done. She explained every position clearly. She displayed a great deal of intelligence. She demonstrated her experience, which has been put under a lot of attack. I mean, she has more experience than Barack Obama. She's been a mayor. She's been a governor. She is a governor, one of the most popular in the country. Yet she's been subjected to the worst kind of attacks. And I think she did a terrific job. And I think those conservative critics now all feel kind of foolish for having jumped the gun the way they did.